Okay, guys, we are here on the BJJ Fanatics podcast. Huge honor, André Galvao, Michael.
Thank you.
Guys, we just shot an entire instruction with André today. It was almost like more than 6 hours of content, all about his guard passing. And we are here on Atos HQ, and we are shooting like since 9 a.m. It's close to 10 p.m. Yeah. This guy is like a machine. So, guys, one of the most impressive things for me here was like his work ethic, and now I understand like why he never lose. So,
thank you,
André. Like, I think my first question here is like, how did you develop like this work ethic that you have? Like, you shot for 13 hours and you don't even look tired, you know, like and Angelica, your wife, was just saying like that you were the hardest working person that she ever saw. Like, how did you develop that? Like,
I think I worked when I was 14 years old. What was my first job? Actually, I started training jiu-jitsu in 2000. When I was 12 years old, it was 1994 when I started training jiu-jitsu first time. And then 1996 was the first time I ever compete. And I stopped to help my father and mother. I started working in a pharmacy, right? So, and then right there, I learned about discipline. I learned about how to show up on time. I learned about giving the time to the business, you know, in order to be promoted or to be well recognized from your manager and things like that. So I appreciate the time that I passed there, and I remember that I used to make 200 reals per month,
which is nothing, like $50 for that's
like nothing, you know. But I used to work 9 hours a day. It was like 8 hours just working, and 1 hour was the lunchtime. Plus I used to go to school before working. So in Brazil we go to school in the morning, and then in the afternoon and night I used to work. So I used to work from 1 to 9 p.m. So it was actually 10 p.m. So worked till 10. And then, it helps me a lot. And I remember like that I made mistakes there. And I remember my manager like, man, you can do this, you know, you can do that. So I learned a lot there. I learned about like how to give value to your money. Even though my money was like very like little and short, I used to help my family. But then like, I always been like very active. Before I used to play a lot of soccer when I was younger. And I remember that my dad, right? So he took care of me really well, in a way of always taking care of his children, giving like good vitamins, you know, like taking care of us, like giving good food, like making his best for us. And I think like I'm all mixed as well. So in my family we have like white, black, Indian, native Indian, like all mixed, like Portuguese. It's crazy, you know. So my mom is like, she's like almost red hair and white. And my daddy is like son of like a black woman with a white guy, you know. So it's a lot of mix, and I think this helps a lot as well with your energy and with your breed, let's say, you know, like you know, it's strong. Like I don't get sick really fast, like or it's very rare like to get sick. I think I have a great healthy, and I really love what I do. When I used to play soccer, I love to play soccer. When I used to start training judo, you know, with 12 years old, I was loving judo, and I was drilling in the afternoon to become good. And I'm very competitive as well, and I think this helps a lot. I know competing is not easy, because you always want to like do your best, and you want to be the number one in everything you do. But you learn from mistakes as well. So I had a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes throughout my life, my career as a businessman, as a husband, as a father. You know, I'm always learning. I'm an open mind. So I think this is key for us to have an open mind and try to evolve. Not being like, oh, you know, back in the day, my time used to be like this, like, you know, and I miss those days. No, I think you gotta evolve, and you gotta follow the evolution, right, of everything. Not only in jiu-jitsu, but in life as well. Of course, you need to have your standards, the things that you believe, the things that you have faith. But I make sure that I do my best for others, and I think not only like become good in what I do, but also become great in helping others. Okay. And also I love people. I told you before. So I think if you want to be a good leader, you need to love people. If you want to be a good teacher, you need to love others. So it's not only just open a school and then teach and do this and that. Like I think is more than that. And this is a therapy for a lot of people. And this is an escape for a lot of people. So and I take this as an advantage to learn and also help and evolve and develop myself as a human being. And I think like learning from my job, I worked there for 2 years. I learned a lot, and I learned all this discipline, and I apply the same discipline that I learned there to do the things that I do in jiu-jitsu. So I never been like, since I started training, I've never been late in training. Of course I've been late a couple of times here and there, but never intentionally. Never intentionally. Always because something happened. Like it's raining. There's a big traffic, and I show up late or something like that. Things that I couldn't control. But when I could control the situation, and if I can't control the situation, I'm always on time. I'm always here for my students. If I have a meeting, I'm always on time. And I think this is important, in life. And that's the way I am. I don't know how I have this energy. I believe in God, and I think God gave me such an energy to take care of all the things that I do. Because sometimes I stop to think, sometimes I travel all over the world, teaching seminars, and people ask me, how do you fight, train, compete, coach at the same time, be a father, be a husband, and having the business, and doing all these things.
No, you were just saying, you were just mentioning a thing that's true. Like, you were probably the first athlete and coach who was able to win the worlds by teams, coaching everybody from Wednesday to Sunday, and compete, and won the worlds on your division.
Yes, it's true.
So that's the question, right? Where this energy comes,
Man,
like.
I believe it. I think some people don't see that way, right? Some people say, "Oh, just the way he is." But man, I read a lot, and most of the book that I read is relates to my relationship with God. How I can improve that, so I can improve my relationship with others as well. Of course, I'm a sinner. I make mistakes, and I gotta learn from all the mistakes that I do. I gotta recognize my mistakes, and I think God is the one that keep me humble. Even though I'm winning all these titles, I'm not like I don't like this type of attitude. And if you come here to my gym and you train, you're gonna see like a lot of champions on the mat, and everyone is so nice. Everyone is so cool, so down to earth. I'm not saying that I'm like that, but I believe that comes from the leadership, So and it falls in everyone. And I want to be an example. Since I'm a purple belt, I put this in my heart. I say I want to be an example for all my teammates, all my students, for everyone that crossed my path. I want to be an example, no matter what. And I think I'm doing well with that.
Got it. Nice.
Can I ask you a question about your coaching and competing at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
So you've had years where you were the world champion and you're also the coach of the team champion. Okay. So obviously if you're going to win a world championship, you're in here killing yourself during training. You're training hard. How is it that you're also watching and monitoring the progress of your athletes doing that? Is that kind of an added challenge for you?
Yes.
You're almost like you're a player coach.
Yes.
They used to have those in baseball and football and that kind of thing. So how do you manage that? And how do you manage your athletes' progress while you're actually trying to beat them up in training?
Yeah. At the same time that I try to beat them up, I know there's a lot of respect as well. It's not easy because for me to achieve that level, also sometimes I say if I roll with one guy that's really good and I smash him, and I'm not sure if he let me smash him because he's kind of like respecting me, or if I really smash him, because I'm doing really well. So it's really hard, and I tell them, guys, if you guys train with me, go as hard as you can, like you gotta like push the pace. And I try to push the pace with them. And for example, for the last ADCC training camp, I'm 37 years old, and I was keeping up the pace, and make sure that I build that energy in the room, and they all like following the energy, and you guys saw the way that I fought. So it was good,
Very well prepared.
A lot of energy, right? And I try to also plan the training weeks ahead, so I don't like come here and do like, oh, what I gonna do today, I have everything planned. I have a system that I follow, that I learn doing all my career, and I try to also when you have like a lot of people here, we have a lot of champions, from every level, and I always try to have two groups, so in that way, like I can join one group and I can watch the other group while I'm resting. So I'm coaching everyone. We're yelling for example, I separate the class like purple and below, and then brown and black together. So, and then the brown, I'm part of the brown and black. I'm there rolling with them. And sometimes I go one round out, and so I can watch them. It's all about like giving a lot too. Because sometimes at the same time that you are the hardest worker in the room, you're also the coach, and you make sure like, you like, hey man, come here. Why don't you do this? Like, should do this, should do that. Hey man, don't let the guy pass the guard like that. Let's keep up, man. Hey, what's going on with you? I don't feel you're here. So you have that sensibility of, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And right now at this time, I can see this way better because I'm fully coach right now. I retire, and I can watch them more and more. But when I was fighting until now, I try to always like plan everything in a way that I can watch them, and at the same time I can take care of myself too, And I try to bring like some guys close to me, right? The guys that I have a better relationship, I keep like close, because you don't have the same relationship with all students, right? You don't have that. And of course, I read a lot. I read a lot of books about leadership, about how to become a better coach, how to be an example. I read a lot about that, and I try to apply this on the mat. And I think that I evolved a lot since I moved to San Diego. And I was always like, when Mike Zenga was here, there's a funny story. Like, he had this story that I gave a speech, and I was like, oh, you guys not trained. I used to yell a lot before like that, until I started seeing that you need to know to what type of person you're gonna tell certain words. Some people, they're driven by, come on man, get up, come on man, you look like, like just go, what are you doing, But some guys, they're like, you need to call them aside and say, hey, what's going on, why don't you, So you need to understand like each personality of your students, and that's requires like sensibility, I think. You need to feel them, because some people, they're really shy. Some people, they're more like, relaxed. Some people, they make friends fast. Some people don't, And I try to welcome everyone, and I bring that same environment, What happened at the DCC, it was something that just happened, like when everybody like jump on the mat and then like lift me up, That shows that some love like from my students, and I feel really emotional right now, because just talking about, because I know they love what I'm doing for them, And I think I got a way more reward when I give them than what I get from them, And I want them to succeed just like I succeed in jiu-jitsu. I want them, when I see someone like Josh Inger like evolving and doing all like the great path that he's paving, and then he's doing really well, he's leaving with jiu-jitsu. So So it's amazing to see that. I see guys like Lucas, Kaina, all the black belts, you know.
How old is Josh?
Fernando Dom, you know. Yes.
How old is Josh here?
Josh is my age. He's actually 3 months older than me.
Yeah, but I'm pointing that
I
out
think.
because it's amazing, like what you're doing, like during those very young kids. Like I know you said that he's 21, right?
Yeah.
But you also build the ones that are like over 30 that you would never expect that they would win.
Yeah.
And they're winning like in the black belt adult division. That kind
Actually,
of stuff.
Josh always knew he would win.
Oh, yeah.
I told him when he was a brown belt, I rode with him. He was living in Indiana. I say, "What are you doing here? What do you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm here like for college and this." And I say, "Man, finish your college and move to San Diego. If you move to San Diego, I make you world champion." He's like, "Really?" I say, "Yes, man. Come over. I'm telling you. I can see that." He's like, "Come on." I say, "Seriously, man." And then he came, and then like now he's like 3 times Nogi world champion, HCC bronze
impressive.
medalist.
Yeah.
Like right, like he's doing amazing, like doing great fights. Of course, he's like a more Nogi guy,
Okay.
but man, like it's very awesome to see that. Also, Lucas Barbosa, you know, he became world champion. Batista is here with us right now. I have Dominic Bell, that's a tremendous instructor and a great competitor as well. I have Michael Lear Jr. I have a lot of great black belts here.
Yeah.
There's more names that I will forget for
Oh,
sure.
Andre, and you were a great example for my next question because you won the ADCC 6 times and you won the World's IBJJF with Gi 6 times. So, do you feel that Jiu-Jitsu lately is going like in 2 directions, like Gi and Nogi, or what do you feel about that? Like,
Man, like fortunately, I can do both. You
yeah.
know, I'm a hybrid.
yeah.
You know, or like how can I say? I'm like you can put gasoline, and also you can put like
Okay.
the ethanol. So
In fairness, too.
yeah, so
Probably would have been more titles. There was a break from MMA, right?
yeah, there was a break in MMA. In 2000 when I won Worlds 2008, I didn't fight until 2013. I stopped like
5 years.
2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
And
I
that's-
stopped
those-
2009, 10, 11, 12,
So,
like
and
4 years.
From what age?
In MMA, I was 26.
So 26 to 30.
26, yeah, I come back when I was 29, 20,
So
yeah,
you're talking
30.
about some pretty prime years. So they're probably,
Yeah,
if you had just focused on that, may have been.
probably. I was
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
great. And my last wars before my first retirement in 2008, I was on fire. Like that was like I tapped everyone in my weight division. I lost to Roger Grace. I got 3rd on the open class. I was on fire, man. And maybe if I kept that pace, I would like probably I could have a absolute title. I don't know. So I was like reaching there, you know. I was, but back in the day, we didn't have social media.
Yep.
Jiu-Jitsu wasn't that like
Big,
that big like as the way it is right now. So back in the day, we used to think about, oh, you know what, like we must go for
Do
MMA
MMA,
in order, like if you want to give a future to your family. So I try my best, and until God told me like to stop and go back to Jiu-Jitsu, and I did it, and I'm very, very thankful for all the things that happened after I came back. And when I come back 2011, was my first year coming back after my first retirement. I won double gold ADCC.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
right in the
that's
first
amazing.
year. So, and I was training already with my business. I was already.
Yeah.
I just opened Atos like.
So you were
2010.
teaching and training.
Yeah, I trained pretty much with all my students for that ADCC. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Andre, talking to you more about the instruction that we shot today. So you just shot like 6 hours of guard passing, and it was incredible. Like how much you know about guard passing. So how did you develop that? Like,
Man, it's a lot. Man, I trained since the 90s, you know? So
Oh, yeah.
I saw a lot in Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, I had great coaches, you know? I started training with Luis Carlos Aguimar in Brazil. He's a great coach. He pushed me really hard. He showed me the importance of having the conditioning and be always ready, you know, to keep up with the pace in the fight, and also a lot of techniques, the variations, the transitions. And then, like when I was purple belt, I trained with Fernando Faria, where he's an incredible coach, right? Back in the day was the TT team,
I don't know.
and man, his team was like kind of like Atos nowadays. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It was on fire, like a lot of champions. But it was a very short team, you know, like we come up and then we had some problems, like he had some problems and he ended up like, people started to end up, some guys going to Alliance, some guys going to Braza and all that, like, but I had always, I learned a lot from Terere. You know, he taught me a lot and he helped me a lot. He used to do privates, he used to give me privates for free. Like every day for like 2 years.
Right,
For 2 years,
incredible.
even the weekends. Like we used to live like in the same building of the gym.
Yeah.
And he used to like, get your gi, let's go downstairs, private lesson. And boom, go downstairs.
Wow.
Like that, you know. And we used to spend like 2 hours, 3 hours on the mat. Like he just, Nate, man, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You know, so he's the one that put my nickname as Deco. Deco, you know. So we had a great relationship. And I trained there from 2003 until 2006,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, we end up like, I end up feeling that because after all the problems that happened with him, I end up becoming the leader there. I end up like people was looking up to me a lot because I was a brown belt that was winning everything and I was like rolling with everyone in the gym. I was doing really good with everyone. A lot of people had a lot of respect for me, and then because I was his pupil, like #1 pupil, like people knew that I was the one that would be in charge of everything, and I started learning I started learning how to teach with him, and because of the problems that happened with him, I was in need of like training and pushing everyone together. So that was kind of like a training for me, and I was brown belt only. But I never took that as looking to the bad side. I think the secret in life. The thing that I care within is I always look to the good side of every single situation. You know, so when that happened with him, I knew that I was being trained to somehow like do something one day, you know. And fortunately in 2008, we had the decision to have Atos Jiu-Jitsu. Me and Professor Ramon Lemos, we had this idea. I was 26 years old. It was right after my first wars when I retired, my third world title, and I retired. I retired from the jiu-jitsu tournaments right after that, and I started fighting MMA. But Ramon was taking care of the team, and I was always training with them, helping them, you know, always together. And because of the relationship we had and the ideas that we had, we built Atos. And then back in 2010, when I moved to San Diego, I decided to like, okay, now let's make this like something like great, or it was already great, but let's organize everything. And with the help of my wife, she has a huge role in my success. She has a huge role in my success. She's very intelligent. So with this partnership, me and my wife together, because in the beginning when I opened my business, she never helped me. Like in the beginning, she was thinking that would hurt our relationship. You know, and until a day I say, I need your help, you know, so you must like help me. It's like, okay. I say, why don't you come back to jiu-jitsu tournaments? Because she was retired. Like she was like 5 years not fighting. And I told her, I said, we gotta come back because we need the girls in the gym, you know? So for the business, it would be great. And then she's like, okay. And then she came back, start training. That's when my daughter started training as well. She was 4 years old. And when Angelica fought in 2011, I didn't compete that Worlds, but I competed ADCC, but I was focusing helping her. She won the world title in the purple belt. She actually defeated the girl like from UFC. I forgot her name. She fought Ronda and everything. So, but it was amazing. She won, and it was great feeling to see my wife become world champion. And you know, like I come back, start fighting, and start like getting the students. Then I won the ADCC. I invest the prize money that I got in the ADCC in the gym. I didn't get that money for me. So I believe that I invest in my business, which would invest in people. You know. So then like we start building up Atos, and then we start expanding until we got this, you know.
Yeah,
So now
man,
it's
that's
still
amazing.
growing.
Yeah, and it's one of the most beautiful academies I've ever been.
Thank you so much, Bernard.
Yeah.
And it's all designed by André Galvao.
Cool. Yeah, that's
You saw
awesome.
my wife say that, right? No, she actually helped me a lot too. But I have all the ideas.
No, I got
It's
it.
beautiful.
Man, thank you.
No, but go ahead, Michael.
So one thing I was going to say, almost to wrap up, but you actually told me that you don't even put the majority of your time thinking about your competitors. You think a lot more about normal people who have jobs who come here to train.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the one piece of advice you would give them to say, okay, here's how you make the most of your time, here's how you get better faster?
I think it's the constancy, right? So they must love what they're doing. They must like jiu-jitsu. That's the first thing.
Yeah, okay.
If you like it, and I think it's not hard to not like jiu-jitsu.
I agree.
You know, so it's
Very
pretty
easy to get
It's,
addicted.
it's pretty easy for you to fall in love with jiu-jitsu, right? Once you fall in love with jiu-jitsu, then it's about consistency, right? So, and also, you gotta stud, you know, like the fight, right? You gotta watch videos, you gotta watch techniques, you gotta ask questions, you gotta invest in yourself. When you buy like a video, like an instructional video, you invest in in yourself, right? When you buy the gi, you invest in yourself.
Okay.
When you buy a rash guard, you invest in yourself. When you pay the membership of the gym, you invest in yourself. Like you invest in your healthiness, you invest in your self-esteem, you invest in your confidence, you know, you invest in your relationship, in your friendships, right? So I think you must invest in yourself, and plus the time, which is the most precious thing we have in life,
Yeah, I agree.
right? So the time is something that is you can it's not like you can't get back every single second.
It's the only
that you
assets
lose.
that we all have the same.
Exactly.
You know what's a funny
Right.
interruption? So,
So-
probably 3 days ago, we had Fabio Gurgel that we were talking to. So I think the only coaches to win a world title since, I don't know, 2007 are you and Fabio Gurgel.
Yeah.
And I said to him, what would you say is the number one piece of advice? And the first thing he said is consistency.
Yeah.
And
same as
the
you.
first thing you said was consistency.
Exactly. So the
Yeah.
consistency is really important, like on the mat, off the mat, and everything you do in life, you know. So you guys are doing the BJJ Fanatics right now, so you have consistency in the content. You have consistency in the content. You have consistent in the plans. You gotta have that, like, and I think that's really important, you know.
For sure.
And it's not like, oh, drink this pill here and then you become great in jiu-jitsu. It's not like a matrix, right? You have the blue pill and the red pill, right? It's
No,
not
but
like that. It's just,
only you're saying about this about consistency, and I was remembering about Michael today. Like Michael's dog is sick. He's in the old days, 17 years, so he was supposed to fly here in the morning today and fly at night. But he would not skip this trip, you know. Like, so he was consistent.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you so much.
No, but
you guys are amazing. You guys are doing great.
man, I appreciate it. But Andrea, we appreciate your time and filming
Amazing
for us.
effort today.
No, my pleasure.
Was
Thank you so much, man.
It was amazing to watch this hard work.
Oh, man.
Also,
My pleasure.
not just hard, it was smart work too. I learned so much today. I really
Yeah,
did.
thank you so much, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, and guys, we're gonna launch André Galvao instructional video all about his guard passing system very soon. So maybe by the time you're watching it or you're listening, it's already there on bjjfanatics.com. So make sure to check that out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.